Just tell me the reason for the symptoms which are visible on the screen. Why there is restlessness, extreme weakness, calm skin, rapid and thready pulse. Because of the profuse blood loss, the person will be having the less cardiac output. Because of that, he may land up in a hypotension, that is decreased blood pressure. When there is a decreased blood pressure, the body will try to get the blood supply somehow. So the pulse will become a rapid, and it is a thready pulse because the cardiac output is less. Because of that stroke volume will be less, so that the body parts will not be getting the proper blood supply. So the pulse rate will be rapid. Pulse rate will be like tachycardia, rapid pulse rate will be there. Because of that, the body will get the blood supply. Then because of the profuse blood loss, there is a loss of body fluid along with, and the electrolytes and minerals also lost. Because of that, there will be a extreme muscle weakness. Because of this loss of electrolytes and minerals, there is a imbalance of this body fluid along with the electrolytes. Because of that, the person gets the restlessness. When collectively there is a less blood supply, less body fluid, the person will be suffering from a scanty urine, that is called oliguria. So this is about the justification for this case. So what immediate treatment do you suggest? Any idea about this? Yes, anyone? Yes.
Hydrate the patient, supply him with electrolytes.
Yes, we have to see for the makeup of the body fluid supplement. We have to correct the loss of the body fluid. And what about the blood transfusion? What about the blood transfusion?
Compatible with these to be transfused.
Yes, after correction of this, we have to see immediately about the blood transfusion also. For that, how to give the blood transfusion also. So that is one more reason of the first line of treatment. Okay. Coming to the case history 4. Here I will be reading. A patient comes to a doctor with severe constrictive pain behind the sternum. After questioning, he reveals that the pain radiates along the ulnar border of the left arm. The severity of pain is proportional to the degree of exertion. Pain also increases after meals and in cold weather. So the investigations were done. X-ray of chest was normal. ECG not significant. So what is the diagnosis of this case? What is the diagnosis of this case?
Angina.
Angina pectoris. Yes, correct. How you what is the reason for telling angina pectoris and why it is not myocardial infarction? Why it
ECG
is
was not significant. In
yes,
myocardial infarction, ECG will show ST segment elevation.
yes. There will be definitively abnormal changes in the ECG if it is a myocardial infarction case. But it is simple angina pectoris case. He is having the constructive type of pain that is radiating in nature, and typical radiating feature is he is telling that pain radiates along the ulnar border of the left arm. Okay, and is also telling about the uh, adverse symptoms, like he is having the pain when he do the exercise like exertion. Also after meals he is getting the pain, and during cold weather. Okay, these are the some confounding factors of the angina pectoris. So X-ray chest is normal, ECG is not significant. Because of that, this case is of a angina pectoris. Okay, so what is the difference? One thing you told about the ECG changes. Okay, why it is not what is the reason for the pain? Angina pectoris, what is the reason for the pain? Reason for the pain. What is the difference between myocardial infarction and myocardial ischemia? What is the difference between these two terms, myocardial infarction and myocardial ischemia? Hmm.
Prolonged myocardial ischemia will result in myocardial infarction.
Hmm. Hmm. So that is one reason. Another, what is the word meaning of myocardial ischemia?
Myocardial ischemia is reduced blood supply to the heart.
It is a decreased or reduced blood supply to the heart. Due to this decreased blood supply to the heart, what is happening to the heart? The
Heart is
heart is
unable
not
to pump properly.
uh, it is not getting the proper blood supply. Okay, these are the vessels supplying to the heart. Okay, because of decreased blood supply to the heart, the whatever the metabolic pathways are happening there, they will not happen properly, and due to the abnormal metabolic pathways, the end product of metabolic will start accumulating over there, like pyruvic acid, lactic acid. These are the end product of metabolic, they start accumulating, and these will cause the pain around the area. Okay, this is the one of the reason why the myocardial angina pectoris is happening. Okay, due to the decreased blood supply. Because of decreased blood supply, O2 is less, so that is called transient ischemic attack. Okay, it is we call the heart will go in a hypoxic state because of less blood supply, less oxygen. Okay, so these are all the collective causes to cause the pain in the angina pectoris. Okay, what advice you will give to such patients? What you will advise to such patients? Because the such patient, in this case, the person is complaining about when he has a meal, that time the pain is increasing. When he does little exertion also he is having pain, and in during cold weather he is having pain. So what advice you will be giving to such patients? You should tell that such person should not do severe kind of exercise. He should do the mild to moderate type of exercise. He should not do brisk walking. He should not climb the stairs. When he will be climbing or walking, he should be very much careful. During cold weather, he has to be attentive. And little exercise means when he go for the stool or urination, he has to be very careful. He should not uh, force much during defecation process, that because that is everything is making the load over the heart. Okay, again what suggestion he will be giving? He should have the small meals at a regular intervals, not heavy meals at a time. Okay, so to relieve from the such pain after the meal, so that he has to restrict to the meal, small meals with the regular interval he has to follow. So these are the some certain advice you will be giving to such kind of patients. Okay, now case fifth is a female aged 55 years complained of intermittent soreness of the tongue and periodic diarrhea in addition to fatigue, breathlessness, anorexia, and pains and needles sensation. On examination, the skin and mucous membrane are pale, the tongue is red, ulcerated, spleen is not palpable, tachycardia is present. His investigations, histamine, then RBC count 1 million per mm of, here the unit mistake is there, cells per cubic mm. Then RBCs under microscope they have seen it is showing irregular in size and shape. Occasionally nucleated RBCs present in the peripheral blood, leukopenia and thrombocytopenia. So these are the investigations of this case. So here the female, her age is 55 years and she is having the intermittent soreness of the tongue. She is having periodic diarrhea. She is having fatigue, breathlessness, anorexia means loss of appetite, pain and needle sensation. On examination, skin and mucous membranes are pale, tongue is red and ulcerated, spleen, it is not palpable, and tachycardia. So RBC count is how much? 1 million cells per mm cube. Irregular shape of RBCs and occasionally nucleated RBCs are seen. Leukopenia and thrombocytopenia, WBCs and platelets are decreased. So what type of anemia this patient is having? What type of anemia?
Macrocytic normochromic.
Microcytic.
Normochromic.
Normochromic.
What is the probable cause of anemia?
Less uptake of ascorbital.
Lack of
Castle intrinsic factor.
And
Vitamin B12 deficiency.
What is the role of intrinsic factor and vitamin B12? What is the physiological mechanism of this? How both are
This
interrelated?
factor is important for absorption of vitamin B12 from the
Yes.
intestine.
Yes, exactly. So it will help to absorb. So that further will be like they are the regulating factor for the erythropoiesis. Okay. So is there any relation with her age? So in this case, it is mentioned about the 55 years. Is there any relation of this age to the such type of anemia? And why she is complaining about fatigueness and breathlessness? Why there is breathlessness and fatigue? because we are talking about the anemia where you are telling it is microcytic pneumochromic anemia, where the RBC count is decreased. It is almost 1 million cells per cubic mm. So when RBC count is less, she is having less hemoglobin count. When the less hemoglobin count means the oxygen carrying capacity of the blood is also less. So she is having which type of hypoxia? Which type of hypoxia she is having? So that can cause the breathlessness. Okay, and because of the less oxygen supply, she cannot perform the work. So usually she complains about the fatigueness. And why needle like sensation? Because we have discussed it, the causes are intrinsic factor and vitamin B12 deficiency. Because of that she get the numbness and needle like sensation throughout the body or in the periphery mainly. So what are the principles involved in the treatment of this patient? So what are the principles? So what you will be focusing while treating such kind of patients? Directly you will go for the blood transfusion because she is anemia, like that?
No, if
And
there
that is
is absence.
B12 supplementation.
Yes. First of all, you will be finding the cause. What is the cause of anemia? Then you will focusing on the correcting on that. So we have done the investigation. We know the causes. After that, you will be supplementing. Okay. Before supplementation, what you will be focusing is you will correct her dietary habits. You will ask her to add some nutritious things in her diet, which are the rich source of the vitamin B12 and other iron sources like that. So you will correct the dietary habits and sources. Then you will be concentrating on the supplementation. If it is required, then you will go for the transfusion. Okay, so these are the principles involved in the treatment. Then the sixth one, a woman aged of 30 years complains of general fatigue, breathlessness on exertion, giddiness, headache, palpitation, anorexia and dysphagia. On examination, the patient showed pallor of the skin, mucous membrane, then tachycardia, spooning of the nail, edema of the dependent parts of the body. Investigations were hemoglobin 6 gram percentage, RBC. I think here spelling mistake is there. There is a 3 million cells cubic mm, 3 millions, not 30. MCHC 20 picograms, MCV 60, WBC. In the WBC, in the differential leukocyte count, it is showing the eosinophilia. Stool examination, they found the hookworm infestation. They found the hookworm infestation. So what is the type of anemia in this patient? So just see the investigations and tell me which type of anemia it is. There is a one predominant feature. They found the hookworm infestation. Stool examination is showing hookworm ova.
Microcytic hypochromic anemia.
Anyone? See, your investigation should match with the complaints and signs and symptoms. The first two lines are showing about her complaints. She is complaining. And the second second para is showing what the doctor observed. These are the observations made by a doctor, clinician. What he seen, what he observed: pallor on the skin and mucous membrane when he measured, counted the pulse, tachycardia, when he observed the nail, spooning of the nail, and he found the edema on the dependent parts of the body, mainly on the foot. Okay, dependent parts of the body, edema. So these are the observation. So these should match with the investigation, and investigation should match with the signs and symptoms. The whatever the woman is complaining, these are the signs of the anemia, but we have to find which type of anemia it is to rule out the cause and to treat the cause.
Iron deficiency anemia.
Very good. It is a case of iron deficiency anemia. See, there are the predominant features of the iron deficiency anemia. One is spooning of the nail. Okay, depression in the nail. Exactly, the nail will be depressed. Okay, spooning of the nail, edema of the dependent parts of the body, and pallor of the skin and mucous membrane, fatigue, breathlessness. So anemic patient will show. Remaining important features are HB count is less. Okay, and one more important feature is stool examination is showing hookworm infestation. So this is one of the important reason. So what this hookworm is doing, it is causing
Internal bleeding, ma'am.
hmm, hmm. It is causing internal bleeding, and there will be profuse blood loss, and the person land up in why there is a edema on the dependent parts of the body? What could be the reason?
Decreased albumin due to the loss of
Increased or decreased?
decreased.
Because of that edema. What is the what this albumin is causing means what is the physiological mechanism of edema? Whether it is affecting the colloidal osmotic pressure,
Obstruction, lymphatic obstruction.
Obstruction, and when we talk about the albumin, it is definitively affecting the colloidal osmotic pressure. If colloidal osmotic pressure is altered, decreased, so what will happen? Interstitial fluid will start oozing out, no? So that start accumulating. The body fluid will start accumulating, and it shows the edematous sign. Okay.
Yeah.
So mention the principles involved in the treatment of this patient. So first we should focus on treating the cause. So what is the cause here? The predominant cause is hookworm infestation. So we have to treat that. We have to eradicate that. So what we should provide? We should treat her with which type of treatment? Anti-helminthic drugs, anti-worm we have to give her, and after that we have to correct her inflammatory conditions, and then we have to correct her the lifestyle modification and the dietary modification. We have to ask her to take a nutritious diet which is containing most of the leafy vegetable. Okay, then we should go for the any oral treatment, like if she needs any oral type of medications, oral supplementations. So you have to note it down all these cases along with the questions and their justification in your journal, and be ready with that, and according to the syllabus we will be discussing about the cases. So I think today some disturbances were there due to the internet connectivity. So tomorrow I will be talking on the graphs. Okay, so tomorrow again we will meet. So you have any doubt regarding this class? I ask everyone to be active. during this time. Okay.
Ma'am, where in the journal do we have to write it?
I think there is a provision of writing at the end. Some empty pages are there, no? There you can make a heading case history, then start. You have taken journals along with you,
Yes, ma'am.
everyone?
No, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am.
Then how we will write? Then note it down in notebooks, normal notebooks. Because these questions will be coming in practicals as well as a 3 marks question or MCQs. Okay. Okay, fine. Shall we conclude here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.